Hello, and welcome back for this new video. My name is Anna, and I specialize in mindful Feng Shui, which means studying and applying Feng Shui while knowing exactly what we are doing and why we are doing it in that particular way. In this video, we will analyze how the Feng Shui energies of 2026 manifest themselves spatially and directionally. We will see how to use them in our homes to our advantage, and we will also look at what we can do to avoid unfavorable energy configurations. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you to everyone who is subscribing, and now let's get started. Let's start with some basic considerations. According to the Chinese calendar, 2026 is the year of the young fire horse, also known as the red horse. But it's important to remember that the start of the year of the fire horse does not coincide with the beginning of the Western calendar, that is January 1st. The astrological year of the fire horse begins on February 4th, 2026 and ends on February 3rd, 2027. So it's important to remember that from January 1st, 2026 until February 3rd, 2026, we are still in the previous astrological year, which is the year of the Yinwood snake. In the Chinese calendar, the horse is the fifth zodiac animal in the seasonal cycle, and it is also the first animal of summer, mainly associated with the fire element. In the year of the fire horse, the dominant energies are fire and earth, especially yin and yang fire and yin earth. Metal, wood, and water are absent, although they do appear in the monthly transits. So the annual energy is well defined and very pure, which means the effects of fire will be evident. In Feng Shui, we say that in 2026, the Lord of the Year is the horse, also known as the Tai Sui or Grand Duke of the Year. The horse is associated with the south direction, specifically South 2, so the entire south sector or palace is linked to the Tai Sui. Opposite the horse, we find the rat at North 2. The rat is the antagonist of the horse and represents the Sui Po, also called the Year Breaker. In addition to the Tai Sui and the Sui Po, we also need to consider the San Sha, which represent difficult or dangerous directions. In the year of the horse, the San Sha are generally connected to the north direction. We have Robbery Sha at Northwest 3, in the Boar, Calamity Sha at North 2. Exactly in the Rat, finally, the Earth Sha or Anu, and the Sha at Northeast 1 in the Ox. How can these Sha manifest? So, Robbery Sha indicates the possibility that something might actually be stolen from you, but much more often it refers to the possibility of losing something we have or something we thought we had already gained. Be careful, because all of this can also be just metaphorical, so it doesn't necessarily mean the loss of a physical possession like money. But it can also be something stolen on an abstract level, like an idea, recognition, or a promotion. Calamity Sha represents the strongest type of Sha and is linked to various kinds of problems, unexpected events, and difficulties. Finally, the annual Sha or Earth Sha is always associated with delays, slowdowns, blockages, difficulties in moving forward, and things of this nature. The last piece of information concerns the flying stars. The most problematic star is star 5, which this year is located in the south, disturbing the Tai Sui. Star 5 is associated with unexpected events, disasters, and sudden changes. So this year, the north is the most difficult direction to deal with, and the south is also a sensitive direction. Of course, you can find all this information in the Feng Shui Planner Guide 2026, where you'll also find much more. You will find more information below in the description. First of all, we need to say that this year, the north and south areas should not be touched, so in these areas you should avoid making any changes, even minor ones, inside the home. Demolitions, moving furniture, or changing the function of a room, for example, turning a study into a bedroom. If you need to make changes in these areas, use the Feng Shui Planner Guide to select the most suitable day. This is even more important for homes that face south or north. In this case, since these homes are more sensitive, no modifications should be made in any area of the house. If you still need to make changes, I recommend seeking professional advice. Alternatively, you can use the 2026 Feng Shui Planner Guide to calculate the best date. Furthermore, this year you should not buy or move into a home with its back facing north or south. You should also avoid homes with the main entrance door facing north, south, or southwest. If you can't avoid it, it's very important to calculate the correct date for the purchase and the day you move into the new house. So you can also use the planner guide for this, Feng Shui 2026. As for the placement of the bed, in the year of the young fire horse, you should absolutely avoid placing a bed with its headboard facing north or south. If you can't do otherwise, use the Feng Shui Planner Guide again to select the most suitable month, that is, one with a good flying stars configuration, and the best day to avoid risks. As for the placement of an important desk, this year you should absolutely avoid having a desk with its back to the north or south. Again, if you can't do otherwise, seek professional advice, or use the guide in the Feng Shui Planner to select the most suitable month, always with a good flying stars configuration, and the best day to avoid risks. What is the best direction to place a fountain or an aquarium? A water feature to be placed inside the house, something you can easily move every year. This year, the center and the northeast are particularly good. You can take the direction from the center of the room where you want to place the fountain. The fountain brings growth and gains. Remember, however, that there are some important rules to follow when placing a water feature. You will find more information in the description. You also need to carefully select the right day to activate the fountain. You will find everything in the guide in Plan 9 Feng Shui, with a chapter dedicated to activating the fountain or the aquarium, including the 10 best directions and times. What is the best direction to activate the wealth point? This year, the southeast and northwest directions are the best. You can determine the direction from the center of the room where you want to place the installation. The wealth point promotes the accumulation of resources and limits expenses. Remember that there are some important rules to follow for the wealth point, otherwise it won't work. The fountain and the wealth point cannot be placed together. Furthermore, the fountain should never be placed at the wealth point because otherwise it leads to financial losses. Finally, you also need to carefully select the right day to activate the wealth point. In the Planner Feng Shui Guide, you'll also find a chapter dedicated to activating the wealth point, with the 10 directions and the best times. As for long or important trips, you should avoid traveling north, especially in certain months. And in the guide, you'll also find a chapter dedicated to travel and relocations, month by month. Now let's take a look at how the energies of the year manifest on the earthly sea level, that is, in terms of feng shui, by analyzing the directions, the areas within the house, and the timing throughout the year. So now let's look at the energetic characteristics inside the home using the flying stars method. First, you need to determine the back and the facade of your home, which is usually quite intuitive. If you don't know how to do this, you can, for example, ask our community for help. You can join the community for free on Facebook, and you'll find more information below in the description. Once you've identified the back and the facade, draw a 3x3 grid on the floor plan of your home. This grid is called the Ba Gua, so with a simple compass, mark the north direction and then, clockwise, mark all the other directions. In this way, you will associate each of the 9 squares, a very specific geographic direction. In Feng Shui, each of these 9 squares is called a palace. An important clarification: do not position the Ba Gua with north where the entrance door is, as you might read on the internet or in some books. This has nothing to do with Feng Shui and is a completely incorrect method that you absolutely must avoid. What can you do in your home to take advantage of the favorable energies of the horse? How can you limit unfavorable configurations? Now we are ready to analyze the energetic characteristics of each of the 9 palaces. North Palace, the annual star 6 young metal visits the North Palace. It is a good star that brings authority, acquisition of power, career, command, determination, and improvement of reputation. It favors a military career and artistic successes, careers in large companies or multinationals, promotes health and longevity, and is also favorable for everything related to medical studies and sciences. In this position, it is even more favorable for one's career and success in studies. This area can practically be used for any purpose. It works very well even as a bedroom, but not with the head of the bed facing north. This is one of the best areas in 2026. but do not place a desk here with your back to the north or south. In 2026, the north direction is also the Sui Po, so avoid making changes in this area, even small ones. This area should be kept quiet and used only for normal daily activities. Do not move or change the furniture. If you want to make changes, do them before February 3rd, 2026. Do not start construction or demolition in this area. In general, for homes facing north or south, this year it would be better to avoid renovations and building modifications anywhere. Northeast. The annual 4-wood yin star visits the Northeast Palace. It is the star of minor fortune. It helps with love and falling in love, creativity, academic success, studies, art, and writing. However, in 2026, the 4-star is not in the best position because it increases the clash. Earthwood. It can still be used both for love and for academic success, especially in certain months. You can activate the Love Star 4 in the northeast direction if you want to find a new partner. Use the guide in the Feng Shui planner to calculate the right date. As an activator, you can use 4 bamboo shoots in a bowl of water, or 4 small orchids, or even 4 beautiful rounded stones or 4 crystals. Remember, after you've found the right partner, you need to dismantle the activator on the appropriate day. This room is suitable for studying and working, but it is not suitable as a bedroom for children or teenagers. East is the annual star. 8 young Earth visits the East Palace. This is a good star that brings help, assistance, happiness, and small gains. Because of this configuration, this year the East direction is good for activating the wealth point, in the living room or in a study or work room. You need to find the East direction from the center of the room. Remember that the wealth point must be set up in a suitable corner, otherwise it won't work. This can be done in one or any of the 8 palaces, not just in the East area. This area is more suitable for studying and working and less suitable as a bedroom, especially for children. Southeast, the annual Star 9 fire visits the Southeast Palace. Star 9 is associated with activity, help and assistance, prosperity, new ideas, and positive changes. In this palace, Star 9 is particularly favorable for expression and activity. It is a young room, more suitable for daytime activities and less suitable for rest and relaxation. It can bring excessive excitement and exhaustion, with stress on the heart meridian. Very favorable for creativity, especially in the technical scientific field, suitable for research, development, new ideas, and profits. However, be careful of stress and overexcitement. This is the best area of 2026. South. The annual Star 5 Fire Earth visits the South Palace. This is the worst star. It is associated with sudden and unexpected changes, accidents, and bad luck. Perversion, disasters, but also spirituality and personal evolution. Do not make changes in this area, not even small ones. If possible, do not use this area and do not add the color red. If you must use this area anyway, do so only for calm activities. If the area is missing, cut off, or blocked, that's better. In 2026, the same applies if there is a bathroom, a storage room, or a secondary room here. If outside the house to the south there is a lake, a pond, or a swimming pool, you are already protected. If you can use this area for meditation or spiritual activities, that's very good. So avoid risky activities and arguments. If the entrance door is here, you might receive bad news or unpleasant surprises. If possible, use another door as the main entrance. In 2026, this is one of the worst areas. The south area is associated with Tai Sui, so you shouldn't make changes or renovations. If you still want to do them, it's much better before February 3rd, 2026, or after February 4th, 2027. Do not start demolition or construction work in this area. In general, for homes facing south or north, this year it would be better to avoid renovations or building modifications anywhere. If the south, southwest, and west sectors form a single space, it's even worse. Center, the annual Star 1, water visits the Central Palace. This is a very auspicious star, bringing development, growth, expansion, learning, new opportunities, fame, and success. It supports academic success, especially in literature and the arts. It encourages studies and the expansion of your social network. This area is also very good for long-term growth, income, and career success. There is also potential for profit if this is your work area. If you have a specific goal, you can strengthen star 1 with a small fountain in the center of your home. The water must always be in motion. Use the lunisolar calendar to select a good date to activate the fountain. And remember, never place a fountain in the bedroom, long hallways, secondary rooms, or staircases. If the central area forms a single space with the north area, that's even better. If the center is free and open, the effect is better. If the center is reduced, blocked, cut off, or unusable, it's worse because you lose most of these advantages. Southwest star 7, metal in, brings conflict, theft, violence, arguments, judgment, malice, destruction, and rapid action. It is not a good star, especially in the southwest. This is one of the worst areas in 2026. It is not suitable as a bedroom and in general does not promote intimate or family relationships. It is not suitable for conception, and in this area, avoid important discussions, especially if they concern family matters. It can lead to arguments and misunderstandings between women of different ages. It is even worse if this area is used by an adult woman. If it is used for work, competition could become very intense. If the main entrance door is located in this area, be mindful of theft and security. Keep an eye on strangers entering your home and watch out for gossip. If the south, southwest, and west palaces form a single space, it is even worse. West, the annual star 3, Yang Wood, visits the West Palace. Star 3 is associated with competition, assertiveness, perseverance, and ambition. With conflicts, inventions, hierarchy, determination, but also impulsiveness, stubbornness, and corruption. In this palace, it is not favorable if this area is occupied by a teenage girl. Pay attention to her social circle. This area is particularly unfavorable for work, legal matters, and reputation. It is not suitable to be used as a boy's bedroom, as major tensions with the mother could arise. If the south, southwest, and west palaces form a single space, it's even worse. And now let's take a look at the northwest. The annual star 2 Earth visits the northwest palace. Star 2, with its mixed qualities, is associated with activating your social network, nurturing and growth, fertility, wealth, health, maturation, and completion. But it is also linked to illnesses and blockages. In this palace, however, star 2 becomes quite favorable, especially for activities related to construction, design, and architecture. This area supports the completion of projects, and for men it is favorable for finding a partner for a significant relationship. In this room, you can activate the star 4 of love towards the northeast, and it's even better if this is the bedroom. Alright, we're done. I remind you to also watch the other one, 2026 Video Year of the Yang Fire Horse, based on Chinese astrology and your Daymaster. You can find everything in the description. Thank you for watching this video and for making it all the way to the end. If you want to see more free content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Bye! Visit our website www.canyoufengshuiacademy.com to download the Feng Shui Planner Guide and to get more information about the guide and our school. Also, I'd like to remind you that on the homepage you can sign up for our newsletter, where you'll also find the detailed monthly update on energy trends. Bye and see you soon.